So if you ever wanted to feel like John Wick in the Division 2, well, I have the build for you. Now, you won't be able to one-shot everything in the game, but there will be a lot of the enemies you will be able to one-shot them and pretty much fly through content. We're currently on Heroic, and I'm telling you, this is probably one of my favorite builds. The great thing about this is you can actually run this build with 5 directives on. Yes, I currently only have 2 on, but yes, this build works perfectly fine with 5 directives. As you guys are seeing, even when the enemy doesn't go down, all you need to do is spam the trigger and it will delete the enemy. Now in the build, I'll actually show you the modifiers I'm running because I only play this season with modifiers. It's the new thing to do in the game. It provides a challenge and it also makes you even more powerful if you use the modifiers to your benefit, right? So I know a lot of people have not given modifiers a chance yet, and some people who have don't even have enough passive modifiers or active modifiers to really see the true benefit of them. But once you guys do unlock all your modifiers, you unlock the passive, the actives, you'll start to see these builds that we used to have or that we're tweaking for this update are even more insane and allow you to do a lot more damage than you typically would. And that's what's really cool about playing with the modifiers in year 6 of season 2 for Shades of Red. So I think it's about time, right? We're almost done with this control point and you guys want to see how I have this build set up. So let's finish this off. I think we have about 2 more enemies. We have the last wave with the enemy leader, and you're gonna be able to see I lose my stack on one, I have to hit him twice, I'm able to drop him, and then the boss, I will have to spam it, right? So not every enemy you'll be able to hit with one shot, but you'll be able to take out a lot of them. Let's get into the build. First things first is you need to get a nice suit like I have right here, and you need to unlock the Carbine mask. Yeah, I'm joking. You do not need to do any of this to make the build work, but it will make you look a lot better. Let's get into it. So I am running the D50. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to say, well, skills, the Magnum hits harder. It does. I will tell you the reload speed is a little bit less. But what I do like about the D50 is you're able to spam the trigger a lot faster now because it did receive a nerf in the last update, but it did get an RPM boost. So I'm not really going for one-shotting everything. I want to be able to spam this weapon at the same time. So yes, I can one-shot a lot of enemies with this build as you guys are seeing. But again, the main thing for this is even when we get those tankier enemies, we can just spam those shots and drop them faster. But if you want the hardest hitting sniper, if you guys can get the Magnum or you can get the Harvest, which even hits harder, but the Harvest is a seasonal item. I don't even have one with damage targets out of cover. And then the D50, obviously, you can get wherever. But you guys can farm the Magnum, play with both, see how you like them. So for the stats, we have 539,000 total damage, 200 RPM, 8 in the magazine, 214% headshot damage, optimal range is 14. Now, I did put 20% expertise in this. I've had it like this for a while, but yeah, this is how it has. We have 15% weapon damage and 10% damage targets out of cover. Now, I have determined on here, after killing an enemy with the headshot, the next shot landed on any enemy will be a guaranteed headshot. So you hit that first headshot and then everything else should be lined up. Now, I do have the short optics rail for the 15% headshot damage, but it does have negative 25% optimal range. We get more headshot. You can swap that out to whatever you would rather run there. Now, I did want to show you something with the stats before we get into the build. We do have 10% crit chance, 45% crit damage, 214% headshot damage, 10% damage targets out of cover. But here, since we are at max stack, we do have a 30 stack right now. We have 27,000 armor regen. We get 185,000 armor on kill and 929,000 armor. Let's get into the build though. So we are running a Hunter's Fury. Now, a lot of you guys are going to say, but why skills? Because your 2-piece doesn't even do anything for your pistol. Well, it's also because of the 3-piece gives you 20% armor on kill, but the 4-piece is really why you want it. Now, enemies within 15 meters receive a debuff, amplifying your weapon damage against them by 20%. That's why with this build, you're always close range, you're getting that amplified damage. Now, killing a debuff enemy with your weapon disorients other enemies within 5 meters. So if you do kill one enemy, it will disorient, like say if you get 5 of them pushing you, that helps them stop them, right? They get disoriented and you can just target the other ones. Now, you get amplified weapon damage by 5% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. That's actually an additional 25% weapon damage you could possibly have on the build. Now, we do have weapon damage, headshot damage, and headshot damage mod, which you'll see on all the Hunter pieces. For the chest piece, we went with the Chain Killer chest piece. We have weapon damage on here, 15% weapon damage. We have perfect Headhunter because of this piece right here. After killing an enemy with a headshot, your next weapon hit within 30 seconds deals an additional 150% of the killing blow's damage. So this is on regular, it's 125. Here's 150, so an additional 25%. Damage is capped at 800%, but since we are above the 150% headshot, we're at 1,250%. Now we do have weapon damage, headshot damage. We have weapon handling on here, which I think is really good for this build. And then we have headshot damage. For our second piece of Hunter's Fury, we also have the holster. So we have weapon damage, headshot damage. Our third piece of Hunter's Fury, the knee pads, we have weapon damage, headshot damage. For the gloves, our fourth and final piece of Hunter's Fury, weapon damage, headshot damage. So you guys saw headshot damage, weapon damage on every single piece. Then we do have the Memento backpack, and that's why we had the armor regen, because at max stacks, that's what we're getting. We have weapon damage, armor, skill tier, and then we have headshot damage mod on here. Now, if you notice, kill confirm, by now you guys know. So for us, since we have 6 reds, right, when we pick up one of these for 10 seconds, that's 30% extra weapon damage. We get 10% bonus armor and 5% skill efficiency every time we pick up a trophy. Now, on top of that, for every trophy collected, an additional 1% weapon damage at a max stack of 30. So we potentially could have 3% armor regen, which I showed you the armor regen already, 30% weapon damage, and 30% skill efficiency, which helps out with your shield. Because now if you look at it, we are running the big shield. This is what we use when we can. Tier 3, right? Yellow, blue. So it's a tier 3 shield. We have active regeneration, shield health, and holster regeneration on the shield itself. And then for our other skill, we are running the Reviver Hive in case we go down. And we don't want to forget about the modifiers I currently have active. We do have All Out. And what's great about this one is when activated, you will have 10 seconds to eliminate enemy at any range zone. The zone that the enemy is killed in will now count for the full range spectrum, but this effect will slowly decrease. For each 5% it decreases, you receive 5% increased damage. Now, eliminate additional enemies restores 2.5% of the effect. That's why this one actually works really good, especially with the pistol build. I like running short range. Weapon handling is increased by 50% of your headshot. And we know we have a ton of headshot damage while there are enemies within short range. So if we lock that in, and then we also use this passive modifier, effective range, liability, deal 30% more damage to armor enemies at short range. You know, those are the ones that we typically can't one-shot sometimes, but with this modifier, it helps out a ton. Now, we also have the passive modifier, long range headshot damage is increased by 150%. When we don't have the active modifier active, well, if we get anything at long range, we'll gain 150% because of how we had the build set up. But yeah, those are the modifiers right there. But that is the build right there, guys. Now remember, the specialization you're gonna go with is the technician class. This is going to give you 1 extra skill tier, and that's why we have a tier 3 shield, right? And that's why if we need to pop out the shield, we have it. So yeah, that's the build right there, guys. If you guys want to see for the 2 other weapons, you can put whatever you want there because we are running here. Highly recommend, if you really want to play safe, I would probably put something like the Scorpio on there. Have the Scorpio there, but the main weapon we're using is this. The Scorpio could be your backup, and then you could put a rifle if you want, or whatever you want. You guys could play with it. But yeah, this is how I have this build set up, and it's honestly one of my favorite. Let me know what you guys think. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the gameplay. If you guys want to see me live, remember we do go live every day on twitch.tv/nothingbutsskills. See you guys in the next one.